Ana, bienvenido otra vez a mi canal, but if you are new here, what's up? As you can tell by the title, this is going to be my favorite green smoothie recipe. This is like my go-to green smoothie recipe. This is what I always do with it. Simple, super affordable also recipe. It's so good, and even if it's not that good, I just like chug it down. But I want to show you guys what I like to put in my green smoothie to make it at least try to taste a little bit somewhat good. And this one is going to be using mainly spinach. I like using spinach because it doesn't really have too much of a flavor, but also I do like the flavor of it anyways. But spinach to me is my easiest like green to put into smoothies, just because I feel like the flavor is pretty low on the lower end. It's easy to like mask the flavor, but you're still getting a ton of nutrients from dark leafy greens, which is so essential for health and especially for losing weight if you're on that journey with me. All right, so for this recipe, obviously you are going to need some spinach. You're also going to need some celery. You're going to need a cucumber. You need some kind of juice. I like to use either orange juice or a mix of some kind of orange juice. This is just what I get from Trader Joe's. This one's just really, really good. It gives you a couple different flavors to mix in there to cover the taste of like stuff that you might not really like anyways. Sugars, 23 grams. So, and this is like per cup. So if you're really watching your macros or whatever, I'd say measure out a cup first. See like how much you're using. Maybe not use more than a cup, because if you add too much of this, of your juice, that's when you can start getting your sugar intake really high, and it's not healthy. Watch kind of yourself with that. Because I eat mandarin oranges all the time, I reuse the juice from the mandarin oranges. So this has just been in my fridge from a can. Obviously you don't have to do this. I'm gonna use this before I go in with my orange juice, just so that I get this used up, because I just like not wasting anything. This is just if you want. Also, sometimes I don't actually add honey just because I'm getting a lot of sugar from the juice. It just depends on the juice that you guys add. But I do like to use juice instead of water, just to give it a little bit extra flavor and without watering the stuff down a little bit. But that's again preference. If you use water instead of a fruit juice, you're probably gonna wanna add honey. If you're into using supplements or anything, this is also a pretty good drink to add in your protein powder if you're doing that, because it's pretty easy to cover the taste of the protein powder with the juice and just with everything else you got going on. The supplements that I always put in my green smoothies. First is just MCT oil. So this is just the MCT oil that I have. I put a spoonful of MCT oil. A spoonful of MCT oil helps get you healthy. Love MCT oil for so many reasons, mainly because it gives me really good energy. Optional, you don't have to add these in, and I definitely recommend doing your research before you start taking any of these things, blah, 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 blah. But I like to add collagen in my green smoothies as well. I only put a little bit because I feel like this can change the texture of drinks, and this brings out the flavor of my next powder also. It's weird. This is just my grass-fed collagen peptides. Also put in some yellow maca powder. You can't really see the label because I don't know why I had put it inside. Like that was a good thing to do, but I did. Also, if you guys want to, you can add ice. Sometimes I do add ice. Most of the times I don't, because I add bananas, and usually my bananas are frozen. If I'm using a banana that I just like peeled myself, it's not frozen, I'll probably add ice. Also, obviously you're going to need your cup for your blender. First things first is I'm gonna go through my spinach. I'm gonna have to sort through this and take out some of the bad pieces. Then I have a lettuce washer right here, so that I just throw everything in, just spin it around to dry it. This is a clean bowl, so I'm just gonna pour everything in here so I can pour out all of my spinach and look through it pretty good. So I'm gonna rinse this out. This is my just spinach washer, so you wash it. I don't really need it to dry too much because I am about to put it in smoothies. So usually my rule of thumb with my spinach is I like to do 2 handfuls of spinach. So you want to make sure you're using a cup that's big enough for that. So I'm just gonna kind of pack spinach in here. I say that you're gonna need a cutting mat or cutting board and a knife. You're gonna need that. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Usually I just kind of do this by eye. I don't really know how much I usually put in it, but so I'm gonna go ahead with my cucumber. I personally like to cut my cucumber small too, like in little chunks, just so that it's easier on the blender. And then I'm gonna take my celery, which actually needs to be clean, to chop off the tops. this looks like a good one. I don't know how much celery I usually do either. I just do it by look. I think also you have to kind of pay attention to your cup. I'm gonna be chopping off like this much of it because it's so dirty at the bottom. I just don't want that, even though I am gonna wash it. So I guess I'm gonna go in with like 3. I'm just going to rinse this off really fast. I like to rinse it off before I start chopping away at it. I'm going to start adding some of my juices. So like I said, I'm gonna add my mandarin orange juice first. Sure that I shake up my orange juice with my supplements. I'm just using a big spoon just because it's right here. Usually I like to use a normal size spoon to make sure that I measure everything out perfectly. I just usually do my powders first so that I can use the spoon last with the MCT oil and do the honey last too if you're gonna be adding that in. But so like I put like the smallest amount of collagen just because I don't really like the flavor of it. And I know we're putting all this stuff in here. I don't know. I just add a little bit. Maca. Usually though I do have a normal size spoon, so I usually do like half of my spoon of maca. It's probably about I want to say half a tablespoon, maybe. I could be really wrong. Again, this stuff you're gonna kind of have to go to your taste because it can end up making the smoothie taste really, really bad. Lastly, I'm gonna go in with my MCT oil, and then I'm gonna kind of push the stuff down so I can add some of my bananas. Again, I usually use a normal size spoon, so this is gonna be a little difficult, but again, this is kind of to taste. Depends on the size of my cup and how I'm feeling that day. I might add a lot of bananas. If you're using a fresh banana, I would say half a banana is like a safe way to go, and then I'd freeze the rest of that banana. But you could also use a whole one too. It's just really preference again. You have to remember bananas are fruit, so they do have sugar. Just gonna kind of push this down. I think that's gonna be enough juice. A little tip too, I like to make sure that like there's not too much liquid in because I want to make sure I can chop up the spinach as much as I possibly can, just because I don't want like chunks of spinach, but sometimes it's kind of hard to avoid. Alright, and so guys, here is my green smoothie. I usually like to drink mine with a straw, so use a reusable straw because save turtles, we all know this, okay? Like honestly, don't come for me. I said it in a different video also. Oh gosh, I dropped. I said in a different video also, I have straws that I need to use up anyway, so I'm just gonna use a normal straw. Alright, so here's my straw. Taste test of this one today. They usually always taste different, but for the most part, they're the same. I did a good job. Probably could have added a little bit more juice because the maca is strong today, but that's also because I usually use a smaller spoon, so it's a little bit harder to measure it out today. But it's still not bad. I will say a tip too though with my green smoothies, I honestly usually drink these as fast as I possibly can because most of the time, I mean, it is a green smoothie and I personally don't like adding too much sugar to it because like I said, I'm trying to lose weight, trying to be healthy. Sugar is not a good thing, duh. And if you're adding fruits to mask the bad flavor of the veggies that you might not like anyways, or even of your protein powder, of any other supplement you're putting in there, kind of taking away some of the bestness about it and keeping it as healthy as it possibly can be if you're putting too much sugar in there. So, and fruits are healthy sugars, yes, but it's still sugar. Also, I love doing this though when I really, really need to eat a green salad and I'm just not feeling a green salad, or if I'm not really hungry but I know I need to eat for the day. This is great. Also because I don't eat past 10 o'clock anymore when I'm like really trying to be healthy. I don't like eating past 10 o'clock. If I haven't eaten yet but I know I'm hungry but it's about to be 10, I love doing this also, and then I'll just chug this down so my body can start just breaking it down. It's a little bit easier on your stomach when you're about to go to sleep, but you still get all the nutrients, you know? Everything that I have going right now is dying. My camera's dying, my computer's dying, everything's dying. I am just going to blend together the rest of my spinach that I was able to pick through so that I don't waste it because I don't want to throw any more of it away. It's gonna be the spinach. I'm gonna go in with the celery also. I'm gonna pick through it, and also my cucumber because I don't want to waste that either. And then I'm gonna mix in just my orange juice. And I'm gonna put it in the freezer. But to put it in the freezer, I actually have these really cool things. They're actually like popsicle makers I had gotten forever ago from Amazon. These things are amazing. I used to put my smoothies in here to like travel with because they're like kind of easy to get them to thaw out and like melt a little bit so that you're able to eat it. So basically I'm gonna blend those few green things together along with the juice, and then I'm gonna put them in here, and then I will put them in my freezer so that when I'm ready to make some more green smoothies, I'll probably add just a little bit of fresh spinach and then maybe a little bit of juice, or even just add some water just to kind of break that stuff down, and then obviously add in my supplements because I just like to put at least to always put that in there. I'm obviously not gonna put the bananas in there right now because anything I can do to keep them separate, I just feel like it keeps it the freshest. And I wouldn't keep it in the freezer for too long, so I wouldn't make like a ton of these and keep them in your freezer. I would probably keep a week at most. I know for us who like to meal prep, I wouldn't make more than I was about to say a month. Don't put a month's worth in there. I wouldn't put more than a week's worth in there just because the longer it stays frozen, it's gonna have to thaw itself back out. I don't know, you're gonna have to Google with freezer, you know, it like puts water in it and then thaw it out, and you don't wanna keep, I don't know. The longer it stays in the freezer isn't really the best, but the freezer can help you extend the life of your food if you don't wanna waste it. But I'm going to literally chug this down. So that is it for this video on how I make my green smoothie. This is my go-to green smoothie featuring spinach. I hope you guys enjoyed this video for my favorite green smoothie. I hope it gave you guys some ideas for some healthy smoothies for you guys if you guys are on this journey with me of just getting back healthier, maybe even losing weight like I am right now. Let me know in the comments if you guys make a green smoothie, maybe somewhat like this, or if you guys plan on making this a green smoothie at all. Let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Also give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it because it helps me out a lot. And if you guys are excited for more of these wellness videos, I'll be able to know. Yeah, muchísimas gracias for watching este video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.